It's a nice one. Yes, Sir Hairless here. Today we are back with Dimash, and this was our recent members poll winner of which Dimash reaction to do next. This is QAIRAN ELIM. I've searched through my comments for this title, and I've had a read of everything you guys have said. This is what I've learned. The music is by the same composer as Angel Love, Renat Geisin. I really loved that song and that composition. If you want to see my reaction to that card, will be up here. This is a music video, and Dimash was the co-director. The song was written during the pandemic when two of Dimash's teachers unfortunately died. It's a Kazakh song and it features the instrument, the kobiz. We have seen that before a few times on this channel. So all in all, to me, it sounds like a very interesting song. Here are the lyrics on the screen. The video is 7 minutes, so it's a bit of a longer one. So let's get straight into it. Oh, and the title, it means "Oh My Holy Land."
Ұлы дала, төрт қолаң тең түскен жерің айдам. Алтай мен Атырау, Жайық пен Іле, Алатау мен Сарыарқа, дәуірімнің дәурені болған жерімнің кеңдігін айтам. Алқалы көшті бастаған түркі дүниесінің бесігі, ұлы даланы айтам. Тым-тырыс дүние, деміңді ішіңе жұтпа. Талас пен тартыстың аламан бәйгесінде шабандап қалмаған ұрпағың бар. Құбылған дүниенің құйтырғы қалаға тоздыра алмаған мінезім мәрт, көңілі жомарт, дархан есі бар. Ұлы даланың бөгделер біле бермейтін, өзгелерді сезе бермейтін киесі бар.
Wow, a few things there. Firstly, can anyone help with the translation of what's just been said? There are no subtitles in the video. The credits that we get, directed by Kobiz, etc., that's all in English in the video itself. So maybe there are not supposed to be credits. Interesting. Very cool video, I guess, depicting ancient battles obviously over territory, over land. And yeah, some nice shots. I love the coloring on it as well. Everything just seems quite grey, quite gloomy, but they're really, really scenic shots, which is a little bit of a purposeful juxtaposition, I suppose. We had these wolves' eyes. Let's carry on from there. Whoa. I can tell this is going to be an intense one. I really do think. An emotionally intense one, especially considering the context in which this music was created that I spoke about in the introduction. Very difficult times for so many people. Well, Dimash has started singing. I just want to talk a little bit about what we've heard before that. A nice Kobiz section, great introduction to the instrument, very, very high definition video of how it's played as well. Such a cool instrument, really amazing sounding. So we have this drone at the bottom, which is the tonic note. This is something we've heard in his other songs. I'll Die for the Wind of the Mountains is one that comes to mind. Naturally, it creates a very intense soundscape. The Kobiz itself It's mostly alternating between two notes, but with the change of the string, it changes the octave. But because of the harmonics that are being created through the sound anyway, to me, it creates this illusion of, I can't really explain it, but in my mind, it's almost multi-dimensional, or the same note that we're hearing at the same time, but on different planes. It's an astounding effect. Very, very cool instrument. I love the changing scales, or modes rather, that would be a more appropriate term. I can't really think of this in terms of Western musical theory because that's not what this is. It's not Western music, and that's the music that most people watching will be familiar with. But that section there, by Western standards, it's almost like a temporary release or relief. Outlining the major root scale. But the top note is a flattened seventh in the scale. And just before Dimash enters, it does this slide into this chromatic inflection. The cob is alternating between octaves. I'm hearing harmonics. The wind noises are the noises that, to me, again, sound like harmonics, but produced by lower sounding effects or noises. It's a very, very pensive opening. Let's see what Dimash brings.
Elimde suyup көтердім биік алақанымда аспанға сынық түспей әліңе бұл өмірдің мәніне сандар шыңдайды шыңдар сынбайды уақыт ем болар бәріне.
It's a nice one. It's a nice one. Based on the lyrics, this is the chorus. He just said QAIRAN. And I want to go over a few things we've just heard. I mean, I could easily just sit here and listen to the whole thing, but my duty as Sir Hairless is to discuss the music. I'm not sure how happy people would be if I just watched it and did not say a word. So if you don't want to hear my thoughts on what we've just heard, go to the timestamp. Dimash's entry with this airy voice, so airy. I mean, the majority of the phrase is just air. He's not actually singing notes. This, I think, is the most extreme airy voice I've heard him use. Here, for example, this phrase. Is he going? Or the third note is never sung. It's just a consonant sound. So our brains naturally fill in this missing note. It's possible, therefore, that you are hearing a different melody to me. And that's only possible because of how extreme Dimash's airy voice is. By the way, if we look at the lyrics, we can see that there is no additional note. It was actually a consonant sound, bar, ma. But if you don't speak Kazakh, you're not going to know this. The scenery, really lovely. Look at this shot. I wonder where it was filmed. It really enhances the delicate, pained voice that Dimash is using here. The vibrato, the slow vibrato, combined with the weak voice, the air. It's a truly emotional type of singing. I think it would be difficult to listen to this and not become emotional. Then when the second verse starts, there's a bit more conviction in the sound, almost as if the first verse has given Dimash a bit of strength. But not much. It's still very airy, and to be honest, it's quite similar to the first verse. The piano, though, that is now noticeably more. There's more of it in terms of volume, in terms of how many notes we're hearing. I really liked the piano when Dimash first entered. It's the only musical accompaniment. We now no longer have the kobis.
жанарымда жас бар ма?
The piano here, it's very, very simple. Including Dimash's melody, there are 3 main lines really. Each of them has a different function. So let me hop to the piano and show you what I mean by that. The top line, the right hand, is the melodic motif, the main melodic substance. It moves, it has 3 different rhythmic values. The top piano part, in blue, is very simple, just moving with the left hand. The left hand is split into 2 parts. The top part, it's higher up, it's sandwiched in between the right hand and the lower left hand, and I think that makes it a bit more subtle as it's harder to pick out and hear. Usually the highest and the lowest parts are the easier ones to hear, but this middle part, it's almost like the hopeful part being suppressed between the other 2 parts. This one here, watch it. First it moves upwards, but then it's pushed back down. The second time though, it's a bit more successful, so now it's this one. And then it continues to move up. The lower left hand, this is the sinking part, the sorrowful part. The part that was a lot of people's reality during the trying times that were the pandemic. And it's only falling both times, chromatically as well. Chromatic inflections are powerful, especially when used like this. Okay, so just before we paused, we got a drop noise, like a water drop, and then a beat sounding. Not sure what's making that beat, if it's supposed to be a natural sound, something in nature, like an animal walking, or a percussive instrument, or something else completely. Anyway, let's carry on.
Aman bol elim, hasırlarday мәңгі соқсын senin жүрегің, жалғыз ол ғана тілерім. Ұмытылсын қайғым, жарқырасың ай күнім, шаттансın әрі, қуансın сәби, тілеймін әлем саулығы. Қайран менің туған жерім, aman bol elim, hasırlarday мәңгі соқсын senin жүрегің, жалғыз сол ғана тілерім. Қайран менің туған жерім, aman bol elim, hasırlarday мәңгі соқсын senin жүрегің, жалғыз сол ғана тілерім.
Oh, I'm losing track of time listening to that. It's really nice. It's a good thing my neck is covered because I just keep swallowing, like gulping, trying to stop myself from becoming overwhelmed. The chorus, really moving. Wow. QAIRAN, Dimash's chromatic inflection, is supported by, or should I say complemented by, or should I say enhanced by, the bass, which is another chromatic inflection. If we hear them together, and then in the same octave, These are minor thirds. The most standard two-note harmony you can have are octaves, fifths, and thirds. Only thirds determine if a chord is minor, sad, or major, happy. So they are arguably the more powerful of the two-note harmonies you can have. But they're also used for closeness, especially in singing. If people are singing in thirds, it's almost the most harmonious singing you can do, because they're also the closest harmony you can get without then moving into the funky harmonies and dissonances. You see here, finally, it's a bit more open. So when they're moved so far apart, and the bass is so low down, it's almost juxtaposing because they're close in terms of harmony, but far apart in terms of actual pitch. A bit like a sort of disconnect when they're actually connected. The other part that stands out to me is the one that goes... If we hear those first two chords, the minor thirds that we were just listening to, with this above it, this is what we get. And have a look at the chord name that appears. Minor to major briefly, then back to minor, then major, then diminished, then back to major. We have minor, we have major, we have diminished, and diminished chords are scrunchy. Intrinsically, they are dissonant. Just adding in a little chromatic alternation can really do so much. And the chord progression itself is lovely, enhanced by the sinking chromatic inflections in the melody. Oh, it's so nice. And that's just the first two notes of the chorus. Then it carries on and opens up a little bit. The melody is no longer chromatic. And the bass part is now moving a bit more. Much more typical of a bass part whose role is to provide harmonic stability, and usually it will need to jump around a bit to be able to do that effectively. But we don't get off lightly, because the next phrase, it's a surprise, it's an unexpected harmonic progression. And we can hear this part as well. Coming through the middle of the texture, listen out for that. Chromatic repetitions, they're everywhere. They're really, really driving this home. Dimash, he's moving a bit higher, but airy, still so airy with his voice. Then we get this bit where we can kind of hear or feel joy trying to break through this really, really almost melancholy song. The lyrics too, quite apt for this. But the phrases are moving down in pitch step by step, the bass line falling. The joy, it can't be reached, and then the beat comes back shortly afterwards. What a poignant image as well. But yeah, this beat, it's almost like a ticking noise. I don't know what it symbolizes, if anything at all. Not everything needs to be symbolic of something else. But it reminds me personally of monotony, that life continues, keeps ticking away second by second. The only certainty in this world other than death is time continuing at the same pace it always has, the same momentum. And then we go back into this luscious chorus. And I really love the video as well. So beautiful. It's really clever how dark they've made it. All this natural beauty, something that we seem to be feeling being removed from humanity as time passes, yet they've still captured this darkness to it. Really clever. Okay, let's carry on until the end probably. There's a couple of minutes left.
жүрегім жалғыз сол ғана тілерім аман болшы туған ел.
Wow, I was thinking as this was playing, the last section, hope, it signifies hope to me. And ending on a TS de Picardy, which you might know as a Picardy third, where you finish a minor piece of music in the major key, leaving us with, yeah, hope, happiness at the end almost. That last section though, wow. I mean, powerful video. I'll just say a few things and I'll kind of go through it and say what I was thinking at the time when I was watching this. So we get the Qudaibergen playing. The slides between the notes, it's just quite moving. I was thinking watching this, it's very, very old instrument, thousands of years old. Imagine the people who would have been playing that there, what their day-to-day lives were like, the hardships they went through, the suffering, the joy as well, I'm sure. But who knows, maybe a similar sound would have been heard in these valleys by people or by animals in the area if someone was playing it down there. Again, powerful shot of the blood dripping down. The fire of the piano. Yeah, it just makes me think about how people throughout history have just been stripped of things, of family, of loved ones. Powerful imagery. Destruction comes to mind. Someone on fire. It's not something you see often. CGI, yeah, but it's still quite a haunting image. Look at that. Wow. Really, the most colourful thing we've had the whole video are these flames and the blood as well. Both signs of death, of destruction. Musically as well, Dimash didn't go too crazy. And I think that worked really, really well for this song. This is about as mental as it went. And everything's big now, the low humming, the piano is starting to do some rhythmic variants with the triplets or the hemiola there. Chut, chut, chut. And the ending, as I said before, unexpected with that TS de Picardy, but the a cappella bit by Dimash beforehand, pure air in his voice. It almost sounds like two bits of metal grating together, you know, crazy sound. Well, QAIRAN ELIM, that was a really moving one. All things considered, all aspects of it, really good video, very poignant, very powerful. The music, everything I liked about the music, to be honest. I wish I knew what they were saying in the introduction. So again, if anyone does know, please comment down below. Very emotional song, that one. And I am a big fan of the emotional ones. I enjoyed that a lot. Okay, let me know which reactions by Dimash you'd like me to do in the future. You can find my previous ones in the Dimash playlist in the description. And also in the description is my Buy Me a Coffee page. It's one of the best ways to support me. So if you enjoy these videos, any hot chocolates bought over there would be really appreciated. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Would appreciate a like and subscribe. If you'd like to join the community and get access to exclusive perks, you can do so by joining the Patreon linked on the screen now, and I will see you next time.